advantage in order to really feel okay about where we are in this game right now. It's still only 9 minutes. There haven't been any drakes or anything like that. This is not a disaster by any means. But I want to see this Twisted Fate get utilized. I want to see Morgan get fed. I think that's what Hanwha Esports is really banking on with this composition. And so far, it's been a little bit too passive.
Uh-oh. Yeah, Croco's going to find Morgan here. Thankfully, he has the passive shield available. That is going to be the back stopped, and there's no teleport, so this is very important. Getting that that interrupt was really, really good. Chovy now looking to try and answer with a move towards the bottom side. I don't know whether he actually walked on the trap down there. Now he's looking to try and get underneath this one. Moonlight Vigil comes down from Deft, and it is going to connect. It's a very early cleanse, and unfortunately, that is going to mean that Prince is well and truly dead.
And this is a problem because Crescendum is up, so Deft is going to be able to do a lot of work to this turret. If it was, you know, I mean, almost any other champion, you'd feel okay with this because you get the Rift Herald on the other side of the map, but...
Oh no, Effort's getting the runaround.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to do a whole lot about this, but at least keeps him away from Crescendum range there, and the teleport will come through.
Chovy just makes sure that Effort's not going to be able to come through for the kill from the Leona. As Summit going to get the hammer knockback onto Morgan, but Morgan will just back away. And showing a bit more dominance here, as he's very close to his Divine Sunderer.
Yeah, so on the other side of the map, you know, they do end up getting the Rift Herald, which, as you can see on the mini-map right now, with that delay on Camille's back, because we just watched this, you know how this one goes, but with the delay on Camille's back, like, this is what you gain.
Towards the top side, good ultimate from Vista, though, as the turret is immediately going to get taken down. Only one is caught by the ulti, as Morgan doesn't have his Hextech ultimatum, and he will just be the one scooped out there. Hanwha now having to try and hold on to this inner turret, as Shelly's going to get a double charge, and now Live Sandbox find themselves a lead.
It seems to be a bit of a miscommunication between the rest of Hanwha Esports and Chovy there, because Chovy, he's got Unsealed Spellbook, but his teleport should still be on cooldown from that last teleport bottom, and he didn't have his ultimate, so he can't go up there to help. And so Hanwha Esports just really not knowing where Fate was, because if you know Fate's there, you have to respect that engage they have with the Rift Herald crashing into turret. So Live Sandbox not only get all those plates, but also pick up an extra kill for the Nidalee, which is exactly where you want that money to be right now as Live Sandbox for some of your poke later on, because the Jace is going to get a lot of value out of this, but also the Nidalee getting that power is so huge. As lose Morgan, yeah, they ended up catching here, but there's nothing Chovy can do. He doesn't have teleport, he doesn't have his ult, but he should have been able to convey, like, hey, they're probably going to ult you because Fate's going up there. And just yet. In fact, fell behind CS early. Hasn't been able to shore that up, of course, just yet. Did get the Mythic advantage. But there hasn't been enough of a commitment to camp this Jace. Willer comes up now.
I like how you say that, and immediately Hanwha delivers. Maybe they're just listening to you. Maybe you are actually shot calling for Hanwha Esports right now, because they said yes. Yes, Wolves. We're gonna start doing that now. Just hold your horses.
I just feel like this could have been happening a lot more, you know, aggressively earlier.
The Winter's Bite was egregious. However, the Moonlight Vigil, definitely not a miss. As Morgan, he wanted another Siege minion, and once again, he's going to get punished for it. In goes Croco. Yes, there's a magic shield as the spear needs to connect, doesn't. Croco now looking for another pounce, but the hook shot's there first as Chovy. He's locked a gold card and he's looking for the kitty cat. Another spear isn't going to connect. The Everfrost is too good as Willer is looking for some resets, and he'll get him. Shock Blast going to be absorbed by Vista. That's why he's been picking this Braum back-to-back.
You know, is in the teleport and in the Destiny Gate in these rotations. He's used both now. Now he's actually kind of caught in between a rock and a hard place.
Yep, he's going to get speared. Good gold card. The Everfrost comes down as well, and Hanwha Esports, they're wasting no time. They've headed straight towards the Baron. And once again, we've got that Crescendum available for Deft. He's doing so much damage to this. Fate will look to come in. Summit has teleport, and he has a big shock blast that you do have to be very careful of. And he's wrapping around. Emperor's Divide, not going to quite find the target. Good exhaust on this Summit. Not actually going to die, though. As the Moonlight Vigil comes down, Summit will be eviscerated. And Deft is going to get closed in on as well, but not before Willer takes down this Nidalee. It's messy, but it looks like Liv Sandbox may have actually tidied this one up. Smite comes through, but it only buys a couple of seconds, and Morgan was still on the bottom side of the map. Chovy also, he's just going to be taking turrets. He's got that demolish he needs to make good use of.
This is such a huge win for Hanwha Esports, because Liv Sandbox don't hold aggro and look for the Baron take itself, which is very difficult to do, but I think with the Ezreal they had, they might have been able to pull it off. But you end up trading even. Yes, you stop the Baron, but Hanwha Life Esports have side lane pressure in mid and bottom. Morgan's going to get all this extra inner turret gold, and this is the power of the Camille really showing up big. And he did have the rapid fire cannon, as you mentioned, this time around, and yes, very risky to look for plays like that in a 5v5 fight, but in isolation, when you have this much extra gold now, and you can almost buy it outright, you buy it, you end up getting a pick with it right away. Liv Sandbox, this is greedy.
Yeah, this is a very deep teleport. The Baron is just that little bit too slow from Liv Sandbox. I did kind of like the idea, but Moonlight Vigil comes in. Deft is just 1 versus 4, diving into the pit, trying to stop this Baron, and he's not going to get taken down. Yes, they lose the purple worm, but it looks like they're just going to murder everyone. It's a quadra kill. He was just by himself.
He pressed the R button and everybody died. That is basically how it goes. Like you said, nobody able to stop him. And this is actually going to be so massive for Hanwha Life Esports. It's negative Baron buff, but as you mentioned, it's not about the worm in this case. It's about the kills, and they're just going to be able to walk down mid. They've got pressure as well in the top lane. So we're going to go back to this gold card moment here. Rapid fire cannon getting some value here. Cleanse comes through, but he's got the exhaust, and that's the end of that. But, I mean, this was a massive moment for Hanwha Life Esports. This win in this team fight against an extremely greedy Baron that Liv Sandbox took out of desperation. And like you mentioned, it's a good call considering the damage, but look at the Moonlight Vigil here. And then he just walks through everybody with a Severum out.
He just walked in there. And everybody else eventually gets through, but damn.
There's a lot of poke on the side of Liv Sandbox with their composition, but
Destiny comes through once again as Hanwha Life now looking to pick their target. They can choose exactly who they want. Prince is going to be the one as Morgan has to go golden, but that is going to buy them easily enough time. Another double kill comes through, and now Summit might be the triple for Deft. There it is. Now Hanwha, they're hungry. They want to try and give him the penta, but he's just walking that little bit too slow. So it's just going to be quadra kill into triple kill.
Should be 2 inhibitors for them if there's no response, and even with the response, your fate alone is not going to be enough.
Yep, that's the Destiny, just to make sure they know exactly where everyone is. The backs are trying to get stopped here as well, as we're going to see how staggered they are. No. Most of Liv Sandbox stayed together. That's the Solar Flare going to connect, but Chovy's done his job already. The Jace is dead, as now Willa possibly in trouble. Fate comes through, looks for a potential ultimate, but doesn't pull the trigger, doesn't find the opportunity. Heartbreaker comes through. There's the ult, but Deft just presses his stopwatch button. Now Morgan's trying to dive on in. The tactical sweep grabs the Leona, and now Prince is trying to keep himself alive, but it's not going to work. Now Fate doing a fair bit, but it's just not enough. Vista trying to get over the wall, does so. Morgan catches the little kitty cat. He goes golden. There is no vision in that brush as Croco. Okay, that's going to be a quadra kill. So he's going to try and clear out some vision, so they're not going to want to flip it. But this is the thing. Hanwha can just keep starting this up over and over again because Camille Twist of Fate should be able to win this 2v2 that could possibly happen on the bottom side. Chovy with his gold card in hand. Morgan taking a lot of damage, but is able to buffer the hook shot. Down goes Croco. They want to actually just get on top of these members of Hanwha, but the gold cards are there. The disengage is there, and instead, Liv Sandbox just give it all up.
Yeah, and this is so unfortunate because they had such a great start to this series, and it is really slipping through their fingers now.
It's a tough one. Hanwha still needs to close it out, though. Looks like it should happen, but these are teams that haven't been able to quite hold on to their advantages in other series. It's a little bit of hyperbole, though, as we can see. 2 more inhibitors going down. Good sidestep there by Willa as Summit too far up yet again. Oh, dear. He is going to survive for a little bit longer. Has a GA. But I just don't think it's going to be enough, as there's the Emperor's Divide. It doesn't quite find it, as Morgan is just massive, diving in onto 3 people. The rest of his team are going to be there as well, though, as Willa dives on forward, grabs the kill onto Fate. Now Nexus turret's going to be taking down. Willa decides to try his hand at some Shurima shuffling, and does it quite nicely as well. I'd like to say is that's a good stun from the gold card, and the Nexus will now be the one to fall down. Hanwha Life Esports from 8th place in the LCK are now match point in the first round of the gauntlet.
Yeah, what a big, big turnaround, too, in this best of 5 so far. Game 1.